What's going on, people? Welcome to Rants Reacts. And boy, what can I say? There's a lot of shit to react to. We're at the business end of the transfer window, and I don't know. Normally, I'd say a silly season, but we're all hearing some very, very strong links, and it's hard not to get excited, innit? Usually, I'm used to disappointment. We're used to disappointment. Like, I'll never forget the Ronaldinho links and how strong they were. And then when he ended up at Barcelona, after that, I was like, you know what, fuck the media until man's holding the scarf. But some of the stuff that's coming out now, it's hard to believe that things are not going on. We'll start with Dybala. The Dybala situation's crazy for the simple fact that a lot of people don't understand what kind of player he is. A lot of people talking about him playing in like the Bruno Fernandes role. Dybala's a striker. Dybala is not he's not a cam, like he's not an attacking midfielder. He's a striker. He played from the right hand side a lot last season for Juventus, and that's where he'll play for us. Given that we sign him, I believe we will sign him. Lukaku was meant to go to Inter Milan, but United had a contingency plan in place. We were linked with Dybala from last season, one of Pogba's good friends, and I'm sure there was a conversation about a swap deal with Lukaku from as far as the middle of the season. It seems like Manchester United wanted the cash up front from Inter so they can reinvest it. When it looked like Inter were fucking around, and you've got to remember the whole Perisic thing. Offered them 45. They wanted 60 million for him at 30 years old. Absolute piss take. So what's happened is Juventus have sounded United out and said, "What? You still ain't negotiated this thing with Inter? Yo, like, we can do business." This Dybala situation has got nothing to do with Bruno Fernandes. Loads of people are saying, "Oh, like him and Bruno play in the same position." No, they don't. Bruno's a 10, really. Bruno's an attacking, creative midfield player. Dybala is a striker. Dybala can play in any of the front three positions that Ollie's going to play. Don't be surprised if you see Martial up front, Rashford on the left, Dybala on the right, because that is what he'll be brought in for. We were always going to replace Lukaku. Remember, we were linked with Moussa Dembele, we were linked with Ben Yedder. All of these guys we were linked with to replace Lukaku. So Ollie always made it known that he was bringing in another striker when Rom left. So now all these people that think that the Fernandes situation is somehow linked to Dybala, like, you're missing a trick here. We were always replacing Lukaku. It just wasn't always going to be with Dybala. I feel like he wanted Moussa Dembele, and now he's seen that Dybala's available, and he said to Ed, "Yeah, cool. If you can do the deal, do that. I'm happy with Dybala. He fits everything that Ollie wants in a fluid attacking system." Between him and Mason Greenwood, we got two left-sided players that can play on the right. We got Daniel James and Rashford that can play on the left, and up front we got Sanchez and we got Martial. So we got two players in each position if this happens. And yeah, obviously I don't think Dybala was always the first choice. It was more of a pipe dream. He's a marquee signing. I don't believe that it was always, we're always going to get Dybala. But Juve have said, hold on. Like, we got a guy that we're not really going to need. He's going to be surplus to requirements. How do you feel about it? Ed's probably gone back to Ollie and said, "Yo, what do you think about Dybala?" And Ollie said, "Do the thing." And I think we're going to do the thing. I really do. Dybala's Pogba's brethren. Also, we got the ever link for Juventus as well. Like, I know Uncle Pat will do what he needs to do to get Dybala to the club. So they're saying that only sticking points wages, that won't be a problem. Like, Lukaku's on like 250 bags a week, and Dybala only wants 200. Easy work, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? They're saying they offered him 150 up front. Obviously, I think United are trying to bring the wage bill down in general, but you can't offer Dybala what Luke Shaw's on, bruv. Luke Shaw's on like a 190 or some fuckeries like that. So I think United trying to be sensible now. It's a bit late for that. Like, whatever Dybala wants, he's going to get it. It's that simple. I've also read somewhere that they're two independent deals, a bit like the Mkhitaryan and Sanchez one. So, do you know what I mean? They're going to do it, instead of doing it like a swap, they're going to do it like, "Yo, we'll pay you this, you pay us this." I don't know why it's easier to do that. Maybe for FFP or something like that. it makes a difference, or I don't know what it is. But either way, like, he's not an either or with Fernandes. He's a replacement for Lukaku. I think it's a sick signing. If this goes through, I'll be excited. But I'm more excited for Bruno Fernandes. Here's why. When you look at Manchester United, even yesterday in the games, we lack creativity. Like, if Pogba's going to be playing in that deeper creative role, which I think he's brilliant at, yeah, because of his passing range and the amount of ground he covers, his physical attributes means that he's good at winning the ball back for us and also releasing it quickly. Bruno, if you watch him play, he drifts like out to the wings as well, and then does interchanging, and this guy can shoot, fam. Not only will he get Rashford off fucking set pieces, between him and Dybala's also a set piece taker. So if you got Dybala taking corners and Bruno taking corners, it's brilliant. Because with Harry Maguire in there, all of a sudden we're a threat from set pieces now. We've got a left footer and a right footer that are, I wouldn't say specialists as far as Dybala is, but they're accomplished free kick takers. Bruno's definitely a free kick specialist, a set piece specialist. So Bruno is what I'm excited about. His passing, his shooting, like, and just his cuteness. Like, we lack that in it. Like, Juan Mata don't have no pace and he can't shoot like Bruno. Juan Mata's got a lot of finesse, but he don't have power in it. Bruno can give you your 25-yard power driver, but he can also give you a little slide rule pass, and he's tenacious as well. And he's got a little bit of pace. He's not rapid, but he's quick enough that if he gets away from a man, he'll get away from him. Whereas Mata looks like he's running on his knees, innit? So that's what I'm most excited about, like, out of the two attackers. And then also, you're looking at, yeah, before we move to Harry, also I'm reading a lot of the places that it's going to go up to like 60 million or something for Bruno, which is fine. Obviously, there'll be the installments, so you know the man will probably get 30 million up front. And then it's brilliant business. And I'm reading that they want him to play in the cup. And then after that, he'll be allowed to come to us, which is fine. So I think he'll play his last game on the weekend for Sporting. And then he'll be a United player, which will be sick. They need to unveil all of these man together. I genuinely think that Harry Maguire has already signed that Manchester United contract. I believe that they're just doing all the United things, do you know what I mean? Don't be surprised if they're filming videos and doing promos, or if they're waiting to unveil them all together. Because the way Wan-Bissaka was unveiled, it was very, like, straight to the point. We got pre-season to get on. He's had a brilliant pre-season. He slipped under the radar as far as he's probably going to be one of the best signings of the summer. He is. Because you've seen how he's transformed our defence. But then you add Harry Maguire in the mix as well, yeah? And I've been watching Harry Maguire more. Now we've been linked with him. I've been going and I've been watching what he does. And last time he played Leicester, he bossed Marcus Rashford. Like, I actually watched how he plays, how he steps in. He's good at making slide tackles and that, but a lot of the time he'll stay on his feet. He's brilliant in the air. And playing on that left side of centre-backs, like where Phil Jones was playing yesterday, Lindelof moved to the right. And Lindelof also played right centre-back at Benfica, like in a free as well. So, like, Lindelof can play on the right. I believe Maguire will play on the left. And Maguire's range of passing, the amount of diagonal balls, similar to what Toby does for Tottenham, that he pings into the channel, or little kind of driven passes into the striker when he carries it out. I think he's going to give us another dimension in terms of building attacks from the back. So I'm very, very excited to see what Maguire gives us, because he's the authoritative figure that we need. As good as Lindelof is on the ball and as a defender, he's not very commanding in the air, which is why it has to be a Smalling with him, or a Bailly, or someone that's going to attack the ball, because Lindelof's not great in the air. So I think them two will complement each other very well. Maguire's not slow. He's not quick, but he's not slow. But we'll have two ball-playing centre-backs, two strong centre-backs, two relatively athletic centre-backs, innit? Well, they are athletic. They're just not quick. But that's brilliant, man. Like, honestly, if we do sign them three players, I think that that's the best window that we've had in my lifetime. Like I said yesterday, for the simple fact that Manchester United have always had a solid core of homegrown players, and they've just added here and there. That's what they've done. They've never gone out and said, yo, we're going to buy 4 ready-made players to come in and impact the team now. Obviously, I'm not counting Daniel James in that. That's why I said 4. Because he's definitely one for the future. But if United can go out and buy 4 players that come straight into the starting lineup, we've had a magnificent window. And I'm fucking excited to be at the games, because I've already seen how the style of play is evolving into what Ollie wants. I'm 100% behind it. I like the 4-2-3-1. As much as I'd like to see Pogba further up the pitch, Pogba does that job for France. And when he's got better players around him, he's willing to sacrifice himself for the team, or sacrifice his natural instinct to go forward. But also with Wan-Bissaka at right back, I think he'll be able to be less disciplined against the smaller teams, which he will. I don't doubt that his discipline will be fine in the bigger games, because you've seen him do it in the World Cup. When he knows he has to do it, he will do it. So this could be the best fucking window that we've ever had. And I would argue that even if we didn't get Dybala and we got Fernandes and Maguire anyway, along with Wan-Bissaka, it's still up there with one of the best windows. Obviously, the Zlatan Pogba window was nice, but Zlatan, we got a past his best Zlatan, and we've got a relatively unknown Eric Bailly. Like, we know what we're getting with Maguire. Like, it's not a gamble. Eric Bailly was a gamble that looked like it paid off for one season, and then since then it's looked like it hasn't been such a good signing, you know? And Zlatan again looked like a good signing for one season because he brought the character that we needed. But when you look back on that season, the amount of chances Zlatan missed, bruv. Pogba could have had at least 15 more assists. Like, a video was released yesterday on Twitter, and it was showing all of the times that Pogba was, when he played in that deeper role in his first season, the amount of chances he was putting on the plate for Rashford, Lingard and Zlatan, and it was embarrassing the amount of chances they missed, and Mata as well. So I would say closely, even if we don't get Dybala, which it wouldn't be the end of the world, I'm more excited about Bruno Fernandes. It wouldn't be the end of the world, but I think we're going to do all 3 deals. And when we do, I think that Ed, duffel bag Ed, we can do shit that other teams can't, would have finally come good on his promise. And I think we can look forward to an exciting season, guys. Let me know what you think of all the links in the comments, man. Like, I know there's a lot of people getting excited online. Flex was saying he ain't going to get excited, but fuck that, bro. What's the point in being a football fan if you can't get excited? I'm getting excited. Like, even the people that say they ain't getting excited, they're getting excited, bro. Like, they are. I don't give a fuck. Like, it's not humanly possible to not be excited by a possible window of these 3 men to already add to the best right back in the fucking league that we've signed. It shows we're going in the right direction. It shows that Ollie's relationship with Ed Woodward is solid. And we have, what is he, CEO? The fuck, bruv? I don't even know what Ed's fucking title is, because it changes, chief exec, whatever. Like, yeah, Ed's everything, innit? We've got Ed and Ollie working closely in unison. And even after the game, Ollie was like, yeah, there'll be 1 or 2 new faces. 1 or 2 doesn't mean 1 or 2 people. It means there'll be a few in it. Like, English ain't his first language. When he says 1 or 2, that doesn't mean 1 or 2. So when people are trying to read between the lines and all of these things, like, it's not that deep, innit? I think we'll get those over the line. We'll be in very good stead for the season. And hold tight the Arsenal fans that were ribbing me as well about Nicolas Pepe. I never hid the fact that I was a big fan of Pepe's. I think he's got amazing potential. Amazing potential. Left-footed and quick. And I always said that I wanted a quick left-footed player for Manchester United on the right, because we've never had one. I wanted Riyad Mahrez before Pepe. So when these Arsenal men are going on like it's a massive scalp, yeah, like, United weren't in for Pepe. I always said that I liked him. I never said that Man United wanted him. That was the media. And if United wanted him, they would have had him. Do you know what I'm saying? He didn't choose Arsenal over United. It was only Napoli and Arsenal that were in for him. So it's one of them things. When the sun sets, he's still a player that's 24 years old. He was an unused substitute in the AFCON. In the AFCON final. He's never played European football. He's never played Champions League or Europa League football. So them man that saying he's a world-class player and they're getting excited over him, I think we're allowed to get excited over the potential of a Dybala, who, you know, that he's proven he's a top-level player. Yeah, his career hasn't gone as well as he would have liked, But that's because he's at a fucking massive club. If he was playing in the French league, yeah, the fucking Uber Eats fucking cup, yeah, I'm sure he would have been playing week in, week out and would have been looking amazing, bruv. But he got a big move at a big club. It didn't quite work out for him. Obviously, when Ronaldo goes anywhere, the team gets built around Ronaldo. Benzema had to sacrifice himself for Ronaldo at Real Madrid. Dybala doesn't feel like he wants to, and that's fine. Do you know what I mean? So I'm more excited over Bruno Fernandes, like statistically the best midfielder in world football outside of the top four leagues, because Portugal's not a top four league, so obviously it would be Pogba. But these are men with serious pedigree and credentials. Serious pedigree and credentials. So if that man can get excited, do you know what I'm saying, over Nicolas Pepe, who could turn out to be a very good player or turn out to be the next Gervinho or fucking Florent Malouda, then we can get excited over our guys. Let me know what you think. Big up for the support as always, guys. Make sure you smash the like button. Follow up the socials at Rants and Bants on Twitter and Instagram. Also, I just hit 40k on Twitter, so big up everyone that follows me as well. Man hit 40k, had to pour the 40 and that. Nice little gif and that. But yeah, things are going well. And yeah, we appreciate you guys' support. And what am I going to do? Well, there's meant to be a Rants Red Talk tomorrow. I'll probably still do it anyway. Fuck it. Do you know what I mean? So extra videos for you lot this week. Big up yourselves.